Greetings YouTube, welcome back to the channel. If you missed one of my previous videos, I not only completed Necropolis, but I got, with standard amount of revives, about 100. You know, there might be some YouTubers out there who are like, oh, it only took me 30, and maybe that is true, it only took 30. You can triple it. But I'm fine with that. You can make fun of me all you want. When you awaken Domino, and you awaken Titania, and you only have 2 class-based 7-star crystals, that is a huge W. Huge win. And with that huge win, I am now in a position to ask myself, what should I do with this free extra first time that we have seen this in years? 1 mastery point. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I'm not usually somebody that likes to do things conventionally on my masteries. I have been criticized with my masteries for years for saying, Prof, you need to actually do something that's a little bit more into despair or deep wounds. And yes, I am tempted to put the point into one of those, especially because years ago, I spent the mastery cores to max out both, and now I don't use but 1 point in both. Defense, I still think this is the perfect defensive tree. You can argue with me all you want that you disagree, but to have just enough points to max out willpower is perfect and is such a great setup for so many different fights and modes, especially when you've got recovery maxed. And yes, a lot of people say, Prof, don't max salve. Well, you got to max something to get to those willpower points, and that's what I choose to do. Proficiencies is also one of those like honorable mentions where I know that there are people out there who love to max both Petrify and Pacify, and I respect that. And so I do think it's between, for me, the deep wounds argument and the despair argument. Now, back years ago when I maxed out deep wounds, it was actually for Blade. Blade was my best champ. He was my top champ, and he was the best champion for a long time in the game. The problem is, when I think about the champions I use now, Domino is up there for bleeds, but I don't know if I used her enough because Hercules, that whole team is still the biggest that I use. And debuffs applied to enemies reduce their healing and regen effects by 5% each. I still think between the and I don't use this exact setup for Battlegrounds. I don't run full recoil masteries, but there are just so many more enemies now that have either regen as part of their base kit or regen as part of their steroided up nodes for, say, a boss fight or a mini boss fight. So I am going to put this extra mastery point right now into despair. And some people might despair and think that's literally a bad idea. But I'm going to try it out. And I have applied those 4 units. And it's not going to change, not that it matters that much. Not going to change your PI a whole lot. Although you can see I am not currently boosted. Although I can get that new profile pic. What up? And also the ruler of Necropolis. Not going to best my professor title. Sorry. Nope. I have officially, and I think most importantly, because people will say, Prof, it's not worth 100 units. Well, I've officially and most importantly gotten in the conversation / qualified for the mid-January Necropolis death rewards. And I've also given myself an excuse at the time of recording this to start purchasing these offers, including all the Allfather Odin's offers, not just for the Tier 4 Alpha, but yes, to get some revenge, some sweet, sweet revenge on a Titan Crystal that has caused me trauma Remember, I got the Cosmic Rank 2 to Rank 3 Rank Up Gem. And so when I think about Cosmic, Awakened Gore is still at the top of the list. But I want to remind you all that there are a couple of Hail Marys for this gem that I'm going to look to. One of them is in the aforementioned Titan Crystal. Because even though Vox would be, I guess, kind of fun for Rank 3, in terms of my love of OG champions and champions I just think are perfect, you can't beat 7-star Hyperion. You just can't. So if I pull a 7-star Hyperion, even yes Unawakened, I might be more tempted to take 7-star Hyperion up to Rank 3 than I am Awakened Gore. But for those of you who love Battlegrounds, you might say, Prof, that was a horrible decision. Take up Gore. So we've got time to debate this on my channel, but this is where I'm putting my mastery point. And Deep Wounds or Despair are my 2 top suggestions, unless you want to open up another point in something like, gosh, I don't know. Even if Glass Cannon is probably a top choice if you haven't maxed that out yet. Either way, what did you use your free mastery point, or what are you planning on putting your mastery point into? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.